How to get into UCLA and more, part 2. It was so cheesy, dude. I was just trying to be like Casey Neistat, like really slick, and I don't think that worked. Okay, so yeah, this has been highly requested. No, it hasn't. After my first video on this, I didn't think people really wanted this, but I guess it was really helpful. And you know me, I just wanna please the fans. Disclaimer: this is just information and tips from my experience. Anyway, let's freaking get this started. Just to remind you, this is the application process. So in my previous video, I did the pre-application process. This is the application. Firstly, requirements depend on which unis you're applying to. You can't think that one application for one uni will be the same across all of them, because what's different between the UK and US is UK is pretty much standardized, like all of them get the same thing, but US it's like different requirements for each one. I made a little book of all like the requirements. Talk to your counselor, your parents, get really organized with all of this so that you don't freak out near the deadline. There's the common application, which is one which like most universities I'd say are on, but also the coalition application. I don't know why they have two, honestly, but so there's common and coalition, and I did common app. But then there's another, which is the UC application. So when I applied to UCLA and UC Berkeley, they had a completely different thing. They didn't go through the common application. It wasn't massively different. It was a different system or different website you had to use. If you want a comparison between UC application and the common app, I mean, I can do a video on that. Like this video or comment down below if you want that. Like, I won't know if you want it unless you like literally tell me, because I don't know how helpful these are. So for the common app and the UC application, they have different requirements. I suggest you go on the website. So here's the common app, here's the UC app. These will be like the requirements on the website page. Make a list, write them down, get them sorted. Briefly, since I got into UCLA, I'll talk about the UC application very briefly. They wanted things like test scores. So after you've done your SAT or your ACT, you actually go on the College Board like website. It's literally collegeboard.com or something like that, and you send your scores straight to the university once you've done the test and once you've gotten the results back. That depends though, because sometimes they don't ask for it, sometimes they do. And then there's other things like your financial statements. If you're like applying for a scholarship, this may be different. Also things like school transcript, A-level predictions or A-level scores, and recommendations from your teachers. For UCLA, they only asked for the recommendations after you got accepted. So, but for the common application, they often do ask for them straight away. So, really right in advance. I suggest like year 12 summer or before that to ask your teachers which teachers you want to ask for your recommendations, and you just have to be really clear about what you need from them. I got a couple of resources for them. I actually printed them out on like how to write it, or just email them a link. Yeah, it's different, and they don't have to do it for you. So be nice about it. I'm so delirious today. I think I literally just took a nap. Okay, regarding requirements, for every school, write a list of deadlines for every required material. You can never be too prepared for these, because it can be very overwhelming, especially if you're doing UK and US applications. So moving on, personal insight and school-specific essays. So main thing is to start early. I cannot emphasize this enough. I pretty much rushed my NYU one. I almost didn't apply, but then I did it really quickly, and I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great, and obviously I got waitlisted to NYU, which isn't bad. Like, ask for help from teachers and friends. Like, it's a very important part of it actually, because they know you the best and they've got the skills. They're like older. I mean, not necessarily your friends, but teachers will definitely know what kind of style you want to go for. I spoke a lot about this in my previous video, the part 1, which will be linked down below. British students won't be familiar with what the tone is for the US application. And I understand that, like, it's not so like formal and informational as like your British like personal statement for UCAS. The tone of a lot of these essays is quite out there. You're really trying to sell yourself, and often it can be a little bit cheesy, but their main thing is to not be too cliche. So if you can help it, just like you gotta find that sweet spot. but don't be bashful. Like, I don't know, it's a very weird style, and the more like different you are like in your topic, the better it is that you'll be able to like communicate what you have to offer, basically. Looking at examples online as well is a huge thing, like helped me a lot. So yeah, do your research is what I'd say, and this is just for the school specific essays. They can be quite long, they can be quite short, who knows. As I said, they're all different. You can't treat them all as the same thing. They all have different values as well, so you gotta look up their mission statement. You might want to like match it up with theirs. I don't know. Just a few things about the common application. That includes like the main essay. So the main essay has like 6 or 7 option prompts that you can choose from, so like questions. I think I chose the one about like background and identity and stuff like that. I'd say was the easiest one, but to talk about, just because I identified that what made me unique was like my international background. So just like find it in yourself what you think is the most compelling to them and the most unique, something that will differentiate you out of the pile, basically. Also part of the common application is the informational side of it, kind of. So there's like a load of stuff about personal information that you have to put in, your extracurricular activities, volunteering, work experience, all of that. Just try and pack it full. Like, sometimes volunteering is something that you've done but you haven't really like, you didn't consider it volunteering. So like, I tutored for free some of like the students in my school, very like informally, I'd say. It was just like helping with GCSE maths. That was a small thing, added it in there, like that's volunteering work. For references, as I said before, it's generally 2 teachers, but again, check your checklists. Just a couple tips on your main essay for the common application. The main thing is just to get to know you and what kind of person you are, not necessarily your like long list of achievements, which you can like kind of like put them in there, but the main thing is what you're all about. Really show that off in whatever topic you decide to do. One piece of advice that I got that was really helpful was to make a brag sheet. A brag sheet is kind of like a list of all your achievements, no matter how big or small, trust me. So you'll be able to incorporate them into your essays somehow, and you have a buttload of essays. So if you have a lot of achievements, you can somehow work them into them. It really helped me just gather what I've done, like in my life, honestly. Like, here's some exceptional like requirements you might need as an international student that your school might not be too familiar with, which is stuff like generating a high school transcript, like a formal document from your school stating all the list of all your grades, so GCSE grades, and because of A-levels you won't have them yet, you might just put in your predicted grades. Also, something called a school profile. A school profile is kind of like a document listing like the structure of your school, and how it works, kind of. You don't have to generate it, your school does. But if your school doesn't do it, I don't think it should be a problem, because my school didn't do it. So you just tell the school, email them through their admissions like contact email, tell them that they don't generate it, and I think it should be fine. Like, they'll just note it on your record. Also something called a mid-year report. I didn't have that either, and they were pretty chill about it. Anyway, with all these exceptional documents, definitely talk to your school counselor about them well in advance, because if they don't know about it, they won't be able to make it and you might miss the deadline. That's really important, especially if they also require that you send it over post, which can cost and also takes a while. An important part of applications is that they are expensive, okay? Just one application, I'm pretty sure, costs about $80. Yeah, so definitely be prepared to kind of pay these application fees, which are quite expensive. Another thing about school-specific essays is that you should start writing, like the very first school-specific essay that you do must be the one that you want to go to the most. So I actually started with the UC applications because they had a closer deadline, but honestly I should have started with Columbia because I'm pretty sure my UC application had the best like that I could put forward, because it was so specific to them, so catered to them, and then with the rest I kind of just copied and pasted. I mean, not copy pasted, but like it's a lot of repetition and it can seem a bit disingenuous, and obviously you want to cut some time and you want to apply the same things to other applications, but it wasn't so rounded and focused into one university. Overall, just in general for the application, find what is unique to you and sell it as best as you can. to that school that you're applying to. I mean, that's just the most important thing. If you know what the schools are looking for, if you know why you want to go there and how you can offer your best self to them, like, you'll be fine. Okay, and that is it. I think that concludes the video. I really, really hope this is helpful to you in any way, shape, or form. And if this was helpful to you and you genuinely want another video on it, and I promise I won't take so long to film the video, like the video and comment down below, because if not, I just won't know if you want another video or not. So like, literally ask me questions down below that I can answer for you, because obviously I haven't covered everything. If y'all are silent, I won't know if you want the next video, so I might ghost you again. Follow me on Instagram. I don't know what else to do. I have a personal one and a photography one, and that's it. I'll see you next time.
Someone to